That was a boring game. That was such a boring game. But look at the smile I have on my face. Because guys, just think about it. If I told you last season that Pirates was going to play Richards Bay on a random Tuesday. On that random Tuesday night, Makaula would get a yellow card within 10 minutes of the game starting. Sesani would be under pressure from Unsundwane for pretty much a lot of that game. Utito wouldn't be as controlling as he normally is of that Pirates team. Abomfukeng would be missing, and Unkota would be the person who'd be running the most out of that game. Chances are that would be a game that Pirates loses. But you know what I love about this Pirates team this season? They're showing you that boring is not bad. They're showing you that points don't care whether you scored 3 goals. Points don't care whether you were exciting and niltunga, nildala, nienzani. For the first time in Pirates' history, they've played 7 games in the league, first 7 games, and they've won all 7 of those games, 21 points. First time it's done. Last time it was done was Kaizer Chiefs with 8, and then Mamelodi Sundowns with 11 games won in a row from the beginning of the season. And that just shows you that what Jose is building with this Pirates, the professional way that Pirates is winning games is incredible. The way that they just show up and take the points and go home, it's very reminiscent to what Mamelodi Sundowns was doing last year. Now, are there issues with the team? For sure. I don't think Makgopa and Tito have a good understanding of each other. I think Utito no Makgopa, when Makgopa is playing in this newish role of his, where he has to drop back into the field, there were a couple of balls that they played directly to him in order to do that thing that he does at Bafana, where long ball, he wins the first ball, and then everybody profits from the ball falling into areas. Makgopa is currently the top goal scorer in the league, tied top goal scorer in the league with 4 goals. Solely because he chases the ball. I think I love that from Makgopa. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be any of that stuff. I am going to follow this ball when it hits the keeper, and I'm going to hit it and score, basically. I'm going to be the only one who's awake at that time. Umfukeng wasn't as fluent as he was normally. He wasn't as fluid as he was normally because I think Richards Bay, the structure at the back was so that there wasn't that much space. But funny enough, it forced Pirates to play on the other side with Nkota playing traditional winger for the first 40 minutes of that game. He was a traditional winger, going out wide, getting the ball, trying to push up. From around the 40th minute, they kind of made them compact and started moving them inside. So you saw Nkota move away from that side and Munyane push up and play the wing role. You saw Utito go wide at some point, try get the ball and play it with Uhoto. But then you also saw Makgopa in the second half be moved to the side to maybe, as an attempt to try get Umfukeng to play up the middle, especially seeing that Richards Bay had made some changes that made them a little bit more attacking. I think the idea was that they would get more chances from a central type of running that was going to happen. Sorry to interrupt the video that I'm sure you're enjoying, but I just wanted to say thank you for all of the support that you guys have shown me and my Overthinking Football platform. I'm a one-man band that's doing all of this, and I really do enjoy the comments about how, you know, Supersport needs to come fetch me and SABC and all of that stuff. And I think it speaks to the quality of the content, but also the amount of effort that I put in. So I just wanted to say thank you. But the truth is that Abo Supersport and all of those guys, yes, we're competing with them, but it's a completely different place. The sponsors are looking for former players, and to be honest with you, running some of these things is getting so difficult, and things have changed at home. So financially, it's a whole different world. So I wanted to try something new and come to the overthinkers, the people who watch the content, and say it would be incredible if you guys could contribute monthly towards the platform, towards keeping my lights on, but also making sure that all of the crazy things that I want to do, that I want to take Supersport on with, I can actually do. And just for 20 Rand every month, I think that would be an incredible contribution if you can make it. It may sound like a little, but if we can get a lot of people behind it, then we'll be able to carry on doing what I do. I'll be able to carry on giving you the content and also expanding it, because we don't have shows like this, and us content creators need help from our audiences. So I just came here to ask you if you can. Here is the account number that you guys can use in order to contribute. And I think, yeah, I'd be very grateful if you would. But anyway, let's get back to the video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the second half, what the changes that Jose made, obviously with Makaula getting the yellow card, it meant that he had a choice between playing Rasibucha and making him a little bit more defensive, or bringing in Udlamini. But he saw that Richards Bay wasn't giving too much in the game, so he kind of brought in Udlamini and allowed them to attack. Dlamini Mbata midfield understands Umakhopa a little bit more in terms of when he drops back in, they run past him. We saw that in the game where Utito Bayangeko, they run past him and it becomes an overload of 4 players attacking. When you speak about Richards Bay, I don't know what Richards Bay came to this game to do. And they look very much like the Richards Bay that Gaetano Tembo was coaching. And I think they're lucky that there are other teams that are worse off right now and performing worse, your Amazulus, your TS Galaxies, that are saving them the blushes. But I don't know what they wanted to do in this game. Their midfield was non-existent. Ustebe wasn't sure whether he's an 8 or a 10 and playing high up, or whether he's going to drop back in. And that opened up a lot of space down the middle that Pirates didn't necessarily take advantage of, but it was there. Then Unsundwana has become a workhorse for Richards Bay. And the question I have about the way that they play Unsundwana when they play him on the wing is, you've got a guy who's got physicality, he's tall, he doesn't mind bullying defenders. But you have him making the same run up the left-hand side. And what's interesting about that run on the left-hand side is, number one, he's not that fast. Number two, if he is fouled or something happens, it's in an area that's far away from being a dangerous area where Richards Bay can take advantage of. But then number three, you win the ball, you get up the wing, let's say, he crosses the ball. Who are you crossing it to? Because Figueiredo started that game on the bench. So I am not quite sure what Richards Bay was there to do. I understand people saying that maybe they were there to defend, but even then, you defend in a certain way and you hit on the counter. You have to show a little bit of danger. And the only danger was Ntundwana. Now, in the second half, they did play a lot better because there was a feeling that Pirates was sitting back a little bit. But again, Pirates is doing this thing where they make you believe that you can play. TS Galaxy, I think at some places in that game, outplayed Pirates. Pirates was chasing ghosts. Scores 2-0. Richards Bay start pushing forward, bringing people into the game, playing more positively. The game ends 1-0. So this Pirates team is so deceiving. And I think that is the mark of champions. It's something we said about Coach Rulani Sundowns. Early in the season, we were talking about how they're beatable. Yeah, they're this, they're that. Jiggy, you wake up and people are almost invincible. And I'm not saying that Paris is going to be almost invincible, but the fact that 7 games into the league, they're unbeaten. No, not unbeaten. They've won all 7 games is incredible. It's incredible. And maybe they're proving that beautiful football is overrated. They're proving that the result doesn't care that you were pretty. Yeah, that you guys put together 36 passes, that, Nshama Vesi, Wafagui Pai to defenders were on their butts. It doesn't care. Results are what matter. And the league should be scared about this Pirates team because they're getting these results. And what's going to make Pirates dangerous this season in the league more than anything else is that Orlando Pirates is stacking up as many points as they can right now. 21 points right now. 21 points. So that means that later on in the season, when the things people are predicting happen, if you're talking about fatigue from CAF, if you're talking about some players losing form or injuries happening, that means that they've got a little bit of a cushion, at least in the league, where they know that, oh yeah, because we won the game versus Richards Bay that day, we now have 3 points that we cannot necessarily sacrifice, but a draw is not a bad result from here. I think that's dangerous. And I think Pirates is doing far better than I thought they would do at this point. And this league is going to come down to questions of the two teams that are leading, Pirates and Sundowns. Can Pirates stay consistent for the rest of the league season? Can Pirates continue to do this type of thing? And maybe not a winning run, but maybe an unbeaten run. Maybe different times in the season where they go 4-5 games without losing or winning those games, where they can stretch it to 10 games where they aren't winning everything but they haven't lost. Can they do that? Can Orlando Pirates stay as focused, especially knowing that you're changing the way that you're playing, knowing that your star players are not necessarily getting the types of touches that they were getting last year, and maybe you might risk a little bit of their games going forward, like the way that they play, right? And what type of effect that will have, You look at a Mamelodi Sundowns team that is impressive. They're coming out and scoring goals. They've got box entries. They're doing all of this stuff. But then they lose to Polokwane City out of the blue. It almost feels like Pirates and Sundowns have swapped. And that is going to be the question for Sundowns to say, how many Polokwane City games are you going to have in the season, and can you afford to have those games when you are chasing Pirates for the league, or when you're trying to go win the league, or when you're trying to extend your lead up top? Those are the questions that are going to need to be asked. But to round it off, an incredible 1-0 championship professional win from Pirates. Winning at all costs. Winning by virtue of Mbata hitting a long shot, winning by a shot deflecting off the goalkeeper, or the goalkeeper trying to make a save and Mahopa finishing it off. I think he scored at least 2 of those type of goals already this season. That is what you want from a Pirates. And maybe as South African fans, we need to learn that boring is not bad. Professional is not bad. That beautiful football doesn't always win you games, and maybe has been part of why Pirates hasn't been able to really make a dent in the league up to this point under Coach Jose. Boring can be good. Boring gets results. And Pirates is getting results, so the league has to look out. Pirates, 7 games won. I guess now we say in Paramisu 7, but no Paramise so, guys. No Paramise so. Because if you don't, you know what's going to happen on the other side. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.